Hello, everyone, and welcome to Harvest Girls International Incorporated. Hi, I am Chris Meadows, the founding president of the organization, and you are here today on Let's Talk About It. Well, I am so excited to be here today with my special guests, and I have two of them that I love very dearly, and you know them very well, I'm sure, in and out of the Indianapolis area. I have with me a motivational speaker, a facilitator, life coach, author, Cathy Holloway Hill. And if any of you know Cathy, you know that Cathy is well known in the Indianapolis area and around the world. And I am so honored to also have on this taping right now with me none other than the renowned, legendary, known all over the state of Indiana and then some, Tony Lamont from WTLC Radio. Tony, thank you for being here today. Cathy, thank you for being here today. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. And I want to know, Cathy, we're going to talk about your book, but I want everybody to know, first of all, you and Tony are life partners. You are married. You're husband and wife. And I think it's so awesome to have you both, yes, have you both here to talk about this topic, because this is the topic that when I first read your book, Cathy, I have to say, blew me away. Your book was absolutely amazing. And I just wanted you to know that I have had several women come to me and say that, you know, your book changed their perspective on life and love and lies. And the name of the book, if any of you are wondering what the name is Lies, Love, and Life, and How to Uncover and Discover the Real You. Cathy has a copy right there. Lies, Love, and Life. And I have to say that grabs my attention immediately, because when I think of my life and I think of what my life is made up of and what I have gone through, I think of lies and I think of love, but it's still life, and how to discover and uncover the real you. Cathy, can you just tell us a little bit about the book and the premises as why you wrote the book?
Yes, and Chris, I first want to say thank you so much for inviting me for this session. I absolutely love my work. I love what I do. And I just really pray that this session will help someone to improve their life. The reason I wrote the book is because I myself had been living a lie pretty much my entire young adult life. I was in a corporate job that I did not like, and I was in a marriage that I did not like, and I was doing many things that I did not like. So I was basically living a lie. And when you do things that don't align with your purpose, your passion, your personality, and what you're called to do, then you're living a lie. Now, I wrote this book. That's what really motivated me to write the book. And then when I started writing the book, I'm just gonna, excuse me for reading, but I want to make sure that everyone really gets the meat and potatoes of why I chose the title Lies, Love, and Light. Because we tell ourselves so many lies in so many areas of our life. And the basic lies about ourselves, they are the most damaging, because then it flows over into your love life, and it flows over into your career, and it flows over into everything that you want to do, but you tell yourself you can't. And some of the excuses that I've heard is, well, I'm too old, or, well, I don't have enough education, or I'll never find the right soulmate for me. These are all things that you want, but you're telling yourself, I'll never have it. Now, I'm going to use this quote. I don't know whose quote it is, because I always like to give credit when I use a quote, but I don't know whose quote it is. So you've heard the quote, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. I don't know whose quote that is, but it's true. So when you continue to tell yourself over and over and over and make these excuses, and then you start putting on the mask, because that's also in the book, you start to take on a life of, I like to call it fake identity, because it's not who you are. So you have to put on the mask so that you can function and do things and get around and talk to people, but it's not really who you are. Behind the mask is the pain. And the pain comes from your lies. Because if you keep putting out into the universe, our words consist of energy. When we say something, when we think something, our thoughts and our words consist of energy. So when you keep putting this toxic, negative, telling the universe what you don't want, God is listening, the universe is listening. And when you say, I'll never find my soulmate, well, you're right, you'll never find your soulmate. So you've got to stop telling the universe and telling God what you'll never have when that's exactly what you want. So instead of saying, I'll never have this or that, and say, I know I'm going to have whatever, fill in the blank, because God is going to bring that to me in the right time, the right person, right situation, right circumstance. So some of the chapters in the book, because I really want you ladies to think about this book and purchase the book, because there is growth work at the back of each chapter. There are 3 sections in the book. The section 1 is just, it's the intro. It's about lies, lies, lies. And it talks about why we do it. It talks about the mask, the cycle that we get caught in. Because when you say something over and over and over in your conscious mind, it gets embedded into your subconscious. Your subconscious is autopilot. I like to call it autopilot, because it just does things automatically, because you have already cemented that belief there. And then you get stuck in that thing I don't like called a comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
that comfort zone can
Yeah.
totally stifle growth, right?
Yeah.
And then, so section 2 is all about lies we tell ourselves about love.
Ah.
We all want that special person, but we tell ourselves things like, well, I'm too this, I'm not enough that, I'm too tall, I'm too skinny, I'm too short, I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too uneducated. Come on, stop.
Yeah.
You're perfect just as you are.
Yeah.
God doesn't make junk.
Yeah.
And then
That's exciting to
section,
hear. I'm glad you're speaking on this, Cathy. This is very informative and very exciting to hear, because I
right.
feel like it's a story that you're telling yourself
Yes. It's
that
all about
has
yourself.
to change. Yeah. It's a story that
It,
you tell yourself that has to change. Yeah. Yeah.
Chris, I got, and I know whose quote this is, because this came from you.
Okay.
And you always say it, and you always say it at your white party, and I love it. And I think it may even be your tagline. Transformation begins with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what.
So if you're telling yourself all these lies, then you'll never transform into who and what you want to be.
It's true.
So
And
you've
with
got
that,
to get honest with yourself, and you've got to understand what it is you're thinking, what it is you're saying, because we don't have to say it out loud. We can have it, just floating around in our head, and that's just as powerful.
right.
So I've been there. I know exactly how it feels, and that's why I feel like I'm qualified to write this book. I lived it for so long, and my first marriage wasn't that great. And I kept saying that, I'll never, until I learned that you must talk about and think about what you do want.
That's
And
good.
so I started saying, God, my soulmate is out there. I know my soulmate is out there. Thank you so much. I'm thanking you in advance. I'm ready. Bring him to me.
So I want to segue into over to your soulmate with this question, since we're talking about soulmates. Tony, thank you so much for being here. You are just such an amazing person in the life of Indianapolis and in those lives that you touch, and in the life of my family as well. But I
Great
wanted
husband too.
to, I know he is. And I wanted to ask you about lies. I know that, people look at you and say, you're Tony Lamont. You've probably always had it all together. You've probably always, you'd be surprised. People think, they look at you and they think, oh my God, he's Tony Lamont. He's got it all together. He's been in this industry for years. Tell us about some of the lies that you had to combat into getting to where you are today.
Well, the thing that's really total transparency, the thing people think is that because you're in a position of celebrity, or you're in a position where folks get to know you more than you know them, in many instances, you have to pretend. So
Mm-hmm.
that pretending puts you in a position of lying. You're becoming something or someone
Mm.
that the people want you to be, to kind of put yourself out there. Now, I've been fortunate enough to know, and I learned pretty early on in my career and in my life, that I had to be who I was legitimately. Um, but for me, folks believed I was something else. So I pretended for a while to let them know. So I was living the lie to make them happy. I think I became more successful. I became more genuine. I became happier when I stopped living the lie of that persona. Because my wife and I always talk about this. There are two me's. There is who I am as an individual, and then there's Tony Lamont. Tony Lamont is the guy that's on the radio, on television, and all those kinds of things. And he does the things he does. Now, who I really am, there's a lot of me in Tony, but then there are some aspects that are never going to be in Tony Lamont. So the lies of the career and the position is primarily, more than anything else, just pretending. And when people really get to see who you are, it's really funny. I mean, Chris, folks used to think I was um,
Wow.
this arrogant, mean kind of person,
Stuck up.
yeah, stuck. Thank you, dear. Stuck up, that kind of thing. I'm an introvert. I'm shy. If I once I get to know you, then we're good. But the kind of guy that kind of, when you see me standing off, it's not because I don't want to be around you. I'm shy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I'm an observer. So I will sit back and watch the world and observe, because I'm a people
Mm-hmm.
person, but I like observing character and people. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, that that was a big lie. People thought for so long, oh, he's this way. As a matter of fact, I had people tell me that, oh, he's stuck up, and he's at this and he's that. And I was like, nothing I can do about it. I'm not trying to make him happy, but
Yeah.
the bottom line is that's further from the truth. I'm just an introverted person, and I know one thing, and that is that God is first and foremost in my life, and I've got to carry myself in the way that He would have me be. And so, in that context, for me, um, and I say this to my wife, and say this to as many people as I possibly can. Long answer for a question, but the bottom line is, if I'm living the way He would have me live, then the lies that people believe on me won't be in me. And so that's the only way I can
Oh, that's
speak.
good.
Wasn't
That's
it
good.
beautiful? Now I've got to give you a testimonial that absolutely cements exactly what Tony just said. When
Mm-hmm.
I first met Tony, all I knew is exactly what he said. All the lies that people believed, and he was stuck up, and he thought he was cute, and he had this voice, and blah, blah, this, and blah, blah, that. And I kind of was scared, telling myself the lie. Oh God, I'll never get Tony Lamont. Oh, Tony Lamont will never want me. I'm too skinny. I'm too tall. I'm too this. I'm not enough of that. Oh my God. It just went on and on and on. I did that. And I ran from Tony. Thank God Tony had sense enough to keep trying, because one day, when I told him, I said, I'm scared. And you know what he said to me? Exactly what he just said. He said, Tony Lamont is what I do. It's not who I am.
Wow.
It's what I do. It's his job. And I said, okay, it's what you do, but it's not who you are. So who are you? And he said, a child of God.
That's right. That's right.
He
That's
had
right.
me. After that one, he had me. All of my self-lies just flew out the window.
Well, you know, I'm so grateful that I'm dealing with two authentic people here today, because when we talk about lies, and everybody wants to point the finger at the other people, that you lied on me, you said this about me, and you start to respond. Or let me say this: you react to what that lie is.
Yes.
When you can either react or respond. And so what I'm hearing both of you say, we're not reacting to what people are saying. We know who we are. So we're responding in the way that God would have us to be, because that's the way he made us. And so we're going to believe the truth about us through God and not through other people. Because once you know who you are, wholeheartedly, mind, body, and spirit, that is what gives you the power. That's the power right there. Yes. The true identity of who you were called to be. And it won't matter, and it doesn't matter what other people say. You would love for people to like you. I always say, other people liking you is okay, but liking yourself, that's the bonus.
Yeah, but you have to be willing to be honest with yourself, because a lot of people wear the mask.
Absolutely.
And they say all the right things, yes. You know, well, I'm confident, well, I'm this, and they're not. So you've got to first be honest with yourself about the lies you're telling yourself.
That's true. That is so true.
People don't want to face that person behind the mask.
They do not.
If I can just add too, I mean, when you really think about lying at its core, people lie for various reasons, but one of the main reasons that they lie is they're fearful of the truth. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to cope and how to deal with the absolute truth. Mm-hmm. And some people have never faced the truth, whether it's with someone else or with themselves. So it's that fear sometimes that puts a person in a position, as Cathy has mentioned in the book and mentioned so many times here, is that when you have that fear to be honest with yourself, you have a fear of understanding what self is. And so you will continue to, because I'll say it this way. It's okay to speak the truth when it's the truth of life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But when you're speaking a lie as though it's life, it can never be truthful.
It can never be true. That's right.
It can't exist.
That's right. That's right. That's good. That's good. That's real good. Well, I mean, they've got to get this book, Cathy, because the groundwork that you've done just on each topic, and we're going to touch each topic this afternoon. This is something that is life-changing. And like I said, I've had women, I recommend the book to women to read. As a matter of fact, I loaned it out and someone didn't give it back. So I just ordered another one from you today. I just ordered it. Yes, because I couldn't find my book because I had it marked and everything. But to say that, we talked a little bit about the lies. Let's move into love is next?
Yes, because there are three sections. Section one is just, the intro and all the excuses that we make, because we do make a lot of excuses, the mask and the denial and all that. And then section two is lies about love. We talked a little bit about that, because even though you want to find that right person, you tell yourself, I'll never find that right person. So that kind of doesn't make sense, but that's what people do. And then section three is lies about life, because we lie about our I'll never find the right job. I'll never find the right career. I'll never be able to own my own business. I'll never be able to, write a small business proposal. So, those types of things. And then the final section 4 is all about changing all of this entire dynamic and growing into who you are. Face it and fix it.
Okay.
That's the first chapter in section 4. Face it and fix it. And that's, again, you got to Own it. You got to stop lying to yourself. You've got to face what it is you're running away from. Take that mask off. Take it off. Just take it off. It's just like, people won't go anywhere without full makeup, eyelashes, and all the whole nine. Come on, y'all. That's, I'm okay with that. People, please don't get angry. It's okay, but I mean, every time and these filters, my God, they just overuse these filters. What's wrong with the real you?
Yeah.
And then I talk about the comfort zone, because in the section 4, when we're now in the truth, the freedom, and the growth, that's section 4, and I'm talking about face it and fix it. Get out of the comfort zone, and here's a big one: lose the luggage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of people are carrying around a lot of bags. Lose the luggage. You cannot continue to carry all that stuff from 55 years ago if you still want to have what you want to have today. You got to lose that luggage, and then a new beginning and a better ending.
That's good. That's good. And that's just the one chapter. So this is packed.
That's the growth chapter.
This is just packed with everything and this is a great, let me say this, let me take this one quick pause for the cause. This is a great time for men and women to get this book. This is not just for women, but this is a great time while we're down a little bit and we're not doing as much and going.
Right.
Reading is a great way to stimulate your brain and to get this book in your hand and get this knowledge and start working the process in this book and the worksheets and all of that. This is a great time to do that. And it is a great gift to give someone. If you would like to give someone for birthdays or whatever's coming up, couples, this is a great book to give to couples, and then let them, or have a book club. All of this will work, and it would be great to do this. You can do it on Zoom. You don't have to infiltrate your privacy, and you can make this work for you. But Cathy, I'm amazed. Just the first chapter. I'm ready for the love. Let's get over to the love. Tell us a little bit about the love chapter.
Well, the love chapter is, the section. It's lies about love. That's the section, and the chapters in that section is, why can't I find a good mate? Well, why can't you find a good mate? You can't find a good mate. So why would you start out with, why can't I find a good mate? You can. And then here's a big one: all the good ones are taken.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have we heard that? Ignoring the red flags, because if you do want to find your soulmate, then you've got to pay attention to the red flags, and you've got to know your self-worth. Because if we don't know our self-worth, then we're going to just, have a discount sale on ourselves. I'm just saying.
And Cathy,
we're always going to be on sale, on discount.
I always tell women that your self-worth is not your net worth. Because what we do, we think because
what
we
you
make
say.
a lot of, we think that if we make too little money, we're nobody, and if we make too much money, we're somebody. And that your net worth is your self-worth is not your net worth. So yeah.
And then I hate my job, but it will get better. Okay, well, if you hate your job, why are you there? Because that was me. When will my ship come in and I don't have time to get it done? Now, those are some very common lies about, some of those were about life, but the ones about love, I think I told you what they were. Why can't I find a good mate? All the good ones are taken, and ignoring the red flags. Because we've got to know our self-worth, and we ignore red flags because we want someone so bad, and it's not the right one. Know your self-worth.
I see that Tony had something he wanted to just get in there for a minute.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that it's real important that when you take a look at love and the lies that you tell yourself, one thing I guess I'm speaking it from a male perspective, not speaking for every male, but speaking from, I like to think from a mature thinking male perspective. most men and most males that have a maturity about them, um, they don't care about so many things that you think they care about.
Mm.
So when it comes to how this is and how that is, and if it's in the right place or it's not hanging or it's whatever, the bottom line is we are about your level of loving yourself.
Mm.
Now talk to me a little more about that. We need to hear this. I'm over here patting my foot.
Yeah, we need to hear, ladies, you need to hear this from a male perspective. And this is a male that, you know, back in the day, everybody was trying to run after. So uh-oh. I'm just saying you have the experience.
Okay. Anyway, so from that perspective, I the one thing that men know, mature men know, is that we want you to care enough about yourself that you, a confident woman who carries herself with pride, dignity, and love are the most attractive, are the most amazing, are the most powerful women on this earth. And here's what's really wild. Folks will say this all the time. They will say, "Well, how did they get together?" They say that kind of stuff all the time. How did they get together? Well, they got together because she was together.
Mm.
Okay.
And so that's more attractive because the one thing that everybody knows, I don't care who you are, if you're around somebody long enough, all this stuff goes away. It
Mm-hmm.
goes away. But what you are inside, who you are inside, and the love that you have inside will never get ugly as long as you don't allow it to become something ugly between the two of you. So the bottom line is the most attractive thing to any man that I've ever spoken to is not the outer parts, it's the most inner parts of your soul and your spirit. As long as you're carrying yourself that way, that's your truth. And so you can stop your lying to your love and love that truth. And I guarantee you, you're going to become the most amazing person. And Kathy knows this because she is that person to me. Carrying yourself that way, even in the times where you feel like you can't do something, elevates you even higher. Because when you're challenged with things in life and you step up and allow God to lead you, that also is extremely attractive.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, a godly woman is, I'm telling you, when you can see God in your mate or see God in that person,
That's
I,
good.
I don't care how you look, you got a glow that's even brighter than anything that is earthly. So yeah, carry that with you.
Now I'm going to
That's good.
say I have been with Tony, uh, 15,
Carry the two.
17,
17.
17 years.
Yeah.
So this is 17 years. And I can honestly say that every single thing this gentleman has said is 1000% the truth. He's a godly man. He's an incredible man. He's a loving person, just in general, generous, thoughtful, and I know humble. Oh my God. And that's why I got to stop, because he's so humble. He's going to put his head down because he's humble. It's true. It's very, very true. And I love what he said, because he saw that in me when I didn't see it in myself.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And that meant so much, because he saw the potential.
Mm-hmm.
I had accomplished a lot in corporate America, but that was not meant for me.
Yeah.
And he saw the potential. He knew I was a godly woman. I've always been a godly woman. I was raised in a very spiritual and religious home. So he obviously knew that. And he saw a lot in me. And this man, he's my savior, because he is the only one, the only advocate I had at the time, I was trying to decide, should I stay in corporate America or should I follow my heart and follow my passion? He said, follow your passion. The only person that I knew at the time, everyone else, family, everyone was saying, girl, you know how much money you make? Well, yeah, I look at my paycheck when I get it. But Tony was not, he wasn't about that. It wasn't
Yeah.
about that life for him.
Well, what I really love, and I want to say this look from the, I'm kind of like the inside looking in, but I can't say the outside because I know you both school pretty good. And I just want to say, just to those who may be listening, Cathy, what you said about Tony empowering you and seeing in you when you didn't see yourself, it was already there. It just needed to be brought out because sometimes circumstances and situations will cause us to deplete some of that confidence and some of that self-esteem that we have. And he knew you already had it and he saw it in you. And now you see it in yourself. And now you're empowering others. So this is how this is a domino effect.
Right.
Now you are empowering others to see the same thing in you, in them, that you saw in yourself through Tony seeing it in you. And so now you're empowering and impacting the world through the same love that was shown to you. And that's the amazing thing about this.
And that's also the amazing thing about this book, because it's a lot of information, but it's kind of my story.
Yeah.
I mean, I've lived this. I know this. I know this type of thinking, these type of self-lies. I know that it's not going to get you anywhere until you can realize your self-worth and you can start telling yourself what you do want versus what you don't want.
Yeah.
And then when you start telling yourself what you do want, because I told God, I said, God, where's my soulmate? I'm ready. Bring him to me. And he did just that.
Yeah. And I want to ask you a little bit more about the love chapter. When you talk about the love in the book, does it deal outside of partnership or a mate? Does it talk about self-love? Is there a part in there about?
Yes. Yeah. That's the most
us about
critical
that.
aspect. Yes, ma'am. And there's growth work. And I think I may have said that, but it bears repeating. There's growth work at the end of each chapter. So if you want to do the growth work, fine. If you want to come back to it later, fine. If you see a certain piece that really resonates with you and you want to, because I'm about, if you want to read it from start to finish, that's fine. But if you see a section that really speaks and has your name written all over it, go straight there, do the growth work. At some point, though, you've got to do the growth work. If you don't do the growth work, then you're not going to have what it is I know you want to have. You're going to keep telling yourself the lies that are preventing you from having that. So I encourage you to do the growth work. It's there for you.
Excellent. Now, last but not least, let's move into the chapter of life. Tell us what you wrote. What are some of the chapters about life?
Well, when I talk about life, I talk about your career. I talk about, there's a lot of people who really want to be business owners. They don't like their jobs, but they stay in them. Again, my story. They want to start their own business, but they don't think they're going to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So many other people are doing that. Well, you have something unique and different. We're all unique. And you have something that you could bring to the table that other people can't. So we all possess unique gifts and talents, but we don't see that. We must see that. And then I talk about, I don't have time to get it done. That's the procrastination factor.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people procrastinate because they're afraid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They procrastinate because they don't think they're going to be able to do it. And there's that self-talk again, that lie that you're telling yourself. Well, just do little bits at a time. Take 5 minutes every day and then bump it up to 15 minutes every day, 30 minutes every day, an hour each day. So it's all in how you, and then that's part of the growth work, actually, what I just said, just take little pieces at a time until you get to a point where you have specific time set aside every day to do your growth work and to do whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And that's very important,
Yeah.
because that's what life is about. Life is about having what you want in your career, in your life, in every aspect of what you do.
And I wanted to say, just talking about life, and sometimes we don't know what life looks like, so we have to create it. And I was
Yes.
just looking at your poster behind you, Living by Design.
Okay.
So that that is such an amazing statement.
Versus default,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
falls in your lap.
And I love that because you created that show. That's a show that's on TV 40 on Sundays at in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it goes through all the state, I believe. And you can also find it on YouTube. And it's an
Yes.
amazing show about people living their lives by design and all other kinds of things on the show that it's just amazing. But what's more amazing about that show to me, Cathy, is you created that. You created that in your life, that you were
Yes.
shifting your life. You were coming out of corporate America. You became an author. You became a motivational speaker. You became a trainer, a corporate trainer. I mean, and then you created a show that has been running. I don't know how many years you've been on the air. Several.
Well, it started as a radio show.
Oh, tell us about that.
Yeah, it was a radio show. It was on the Blog Talk Network. It was called Living by Design. And tons of topics about life and love and setting goals. And, a lot of people don't set goals. A lot of people don't have a vision board. A lot of people don't even have a vision, let alone a vision board. But, you've got to, a lot of people say, I'll believe it when I see it. But I'll say you have to see it before you can believe it. And you got to see it in your conscious mind. And when you see that vision over and over and over, then that gets etched into your subconscious, and then you align your beliefs around it. So you've got to have a vision. You've got to have a vision for your life. And that's how you design your life around that vision. So that's why I chose that title, because I had an image in my mind of what I wanted, but I was too afraid to let go of corporate America. And then God sent to me the exact right mate to help me with that, because I asked God for it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying, I'll never have blah, 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 I asked God to send me my mate. And so that's what we have to do in all aspects of our lives.
Well, I want to shift over to Tony with this about the life. People may not know that you do so many things. You're a life-changing disc jockey in this city doing gospel and hip hop, and you've been through all the genres from rapping to R&B, and you've seen it all change. And you're still there. And one of the things that I've noticed about you, Tony, the constant thing is that you've been consistent in being who you are. When the music changed, you didn't change. The music changed. And so you continue to be who you were. But what I want to let the people know is to tell them a little bit more about what you do, because you're more than just, and I mean more than just a disc jockey. Not that a disc jockey is not enough, but I'm just saying you're a producer, you're executive producer, you're a teacher, and I'm telling all your stuff, but you go ahead and tell that. Everything that you're doing is so amazing. I just want people to know how life, you start one place, but you end up with so much more, because the gift does make room for you.
Amen. When you ask for it, you get it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's it's kind of funny in the context of this. Started in radio, wanting to be this radio guy, but I remember it being such a desire that that dream had to manifest. I know it had to manifest. I wasn't going to stop until it happened, so it happened. And then I remember halfway through that part of my career saying, for me to expand and for me to do some of the greater things I can do and to be more impactful for my community, because I was really, really focused on trying to make sure I impacted our community more than anything else. And I knew that I had to have more visibility. And so I remember when the opportunity came to do the Who's Your Millionaire game show. I know you're not supposed to make a deal with God, but I made a deal with God. And what I said was basically, I said the prayer, but I said, Lord, if you give me this position, I will, for the rest of my life, work with young people, and I will pour into them everything I have so that I will make sure that I have nothing left when I leave. And so little did I know that he was going to make sure that was the case. So for me, long story short, radio, television. I'm actually an educator. One of my, and folks don't think about this, but I thought about this. I've done motivational speaking, have my own youth motivational speaking company where I went in. I've talked to almost 1 million youth over my career versus convocational in schools and youth organizations all over the state of Indiana and throughout the country. But what's really really amazing to me is the fact that God gave me the ability to have the voice that young people still listen to,
That's amazing.
and for me to be as senior as I am, and for my students to say, Mr. Lamont, how come you know this stuff, or how come my mother, my grandmother doesn't talk like you do? Um, it's because I realize that I have a responsibility, and I I wanted to be a teacher in a public school. I've always wanted that,
Wow.
and it's amazing how God worked because didn't go to college. So the position that I got was I'm a teacher at Arsenal Technical High School, which I'm very proud of, and I teach radio and television. I teach what I live. And so for me, that's a no-brainer. It's easy to do. But what I also do is I teach life. I teach leadership in the midst of it. So I've just had the pleasure of being able to do what God prepared me to do. And the one thing I look at is like this: if you have a dream, you have to understand that a dream is not only a vision of the possibilities, but it's also a manifest destiny that you have to live out if you understand the importance of that dream.
Yeah.
If you put it aside and go, it's only a dream, then you basically took that roadmap away.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
take a look at it and go, you know what, that was something I was supposed to be doing. Let me jot that down. I know people that wake up in the middle of the night and write stuff down from their dreams because it is that manifest destiny. And
I keep a
so,
recorder beside my bed.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so for me, it's just, life has been and is amazing. I wonder sometimes how I'm able to do it. Um, I do produce a television show with my wife. We're executive producers of that. I teach. I teach at Indiana Black Expo. I teach at Arsenal Technical High School. I just found out I'll be an educator for NXG Racing out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Just a lot of things, and every one of them gives me an unbelievable joy. Kathy and I talk about this all the time, and I know Chris, you know this too because you do what you do. There is no greater joy than to watch a young person change because of the things they've learned from your experience and your
Yeah.
love. And when I
Yeah.
say experience and love, I basically am just saying it's one thing to pour into them the things that you know and say, I know it, here it is. It's a whole nother story when you give them love and you serve it with love, then they know that somebody gave it to them with appreciation. And that's so important. So I mean, we're all in that same kind of thing. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Thank you for
Yeah.
asking that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I had to, I couldn't, the city needs to know, the world needs to know, everyone that looks at this needs to know, because people don't understand. They see you in this just one little circle. All of us, they have no idea what you do, what I do, Kathy, what you do. I mean, they see us in this little circle and they say, oh, that's what they do. And they don't even know that the gift has expanded us so far and so wide. We're not, although none of us are bragging, but we're letting you know that you can have anything. Anything is possible, and you are a possibility. Yes,
Absolutely.
your life is. And
Can,
so,
can I
Kat,
just add something
go
real quick,
ahead,
if you don't
Tony.
mind?
Oh,
Just one other thing. I got to say this because I got to speak about my wife real quick. Because I remember when we had the conversation and she wanted to do what she wanted to do and she wanted to get away, and we had that conversation. But I remember her saying, I love writing. I love writing. That's all I want to do is write. I just want to write, baby. I just want to write. And I said to her, well, you know, if you write, you got to go on a book tour, right? And you got to be able to speak, and you got to be in front of a crowd, and you have to learn how to be able, because she hated, when I say that Cathy hated speaking in public, when I say that anybody that's ever seen her speak, you would never, Cathy hated
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't
speaking
know.
in public. And when I would have anxiety attacks about speaking in public.
Real ones.
But she realized that she had a destiny. She had a purpose. Her books weren't just designed to be read, they were designed to be lived and to be heard.
Ooh.
What ends up happening is when she gets an opportunity to be that example of the book in person, people need to be there. People need to see it and understand it. I mean, I just wanted to come on this and support her and to support you, Chris. And now I'm a part of the conversation. But the bottom line is, that's who she is. And so I mean, yes, I'll support her, and yes, I'll say, go get this book. I'll say, go get all the books that she's written, but I'll say, get this one, because this one, I've read it several times. And men, get the book so you can better understand your spouse, your significant other, and really understand yourself, because it's not gender based.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Life based.
No.
It really is.
Right.
Yeah. So sorry,
Yeah.
dear. I just wanted to. I had it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate both of you. We're out of time. I mean, this went so fast, but
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful and so honored to have you both grace this space with your presence and to be able to speak your voice to the world so that somebody's life may be changed. Someone may think twice about giving up on their dreams and their hopes, and hearing our stories makes all the difference in the world. So Cathy, I'm going to leave your information for the book in the description box below, because this will be on.
Please go to my website to purchase the book. It's a lot easier than purchasing from Amazon.
What is your website? We'll still leave it, but just tell them.
Okay, yes, it's www.chollowayhill.com. That's CHOLLOWAYHILL.com. Cathy, my email is Cathy with a C at chollowayhill.com.
And we'll leave all that information in the description box below. And so we're going to let it go from here. This has been a wonderful time, an amazing time.
Yes.
I'm empowered. I have been lifted to another level myself. And sometimes the motivator needs to be motivated. So I have truly been motivated today. And I want to tell everybody, I love you. I bless you. I appreciate you. I wish you health and that you may prosper. And remember, transformation begins with you. Bye-bye.
Amen. Thank you, Chris.
Bye.